part of me loves when I see these kids hustling and figuring it out. But then part of me is like, collect what you love. Like, respect that some of this stuff is not really just about take it, flip it, but it's like, hey, this is really cool. I think what intrigues people about collecting is remembering the moment. Memorabilia is moments that matter. And why not collect around them?
Welcome to the Trading Cards and Collectibles podcast on the Radcast Network. From chasing grails to calling bluffs and going inside the hobby. Are you ready to collect? Let's get at it. Here is your host, Ryan Alford.
Hello, and welcome to Trading Cards and Collectibles here on the Radcast Network. We've got an OG today, Brandon Steiner.
Well, what's up? Thanks for having me. You know, I love these conversations, love what you're doing. And this hobby thing's a real business now. And a lot of people are in the middle of it in a good way. And a lot of people are in the middle of it in a bad way. And some people are in the middle of it and they don't know what they're doing. Anytime I feel like we can educate people a little more or share views, visions, it helps the business grow. I'm all for it.
Let's at least set the table for anyone that's listening that might not know who Brandon Steiner is, and, you know, why is Brandon Steiner famous in collectibles?
I mean, I've secured over 40 million autographs, sold about $50 million of dirt, taken down many stadiums, including Yankee Stadium, Giants Stadium, Madison Square Garden. I've represented hundreds of players for licensing and collectibles. I was in this game before it really became a game. So, you know, when things were talked about, things were thought about, then I like to think I was able to execute and lay a lot of the foundation in a lot of ways, some of the stuff that we're now living and really enjoying and expanding on, which is glorious. It's amazing. I mean, what I'm seeing happening in the hobby, the interest, particularly the youth, younger kids hustling, grinding, more women in the business, more creativity. I like what I see. There's a few things, there's some behaviors that I don't like, that I wish that, you know, we had better leadership in the business. I think if I had one main complaint, listen, I started Steiner Sports with $4,000. And I hope it's a good example for people to know that you don't need a lot to have a big dream and to get started. But I'm worried a little bit about the leadership as this business gets bigger, and also the ability or the lack of ability to collaborate with some of the bigger companies, and also making sure that the small collector has a big voice. You know, the guy who has a table at some card show or some small little card shop in a small town, they need to be respected and be taken care of. That's the heart and soul of the business.
Even though I've got friends in high places, I'm about to experience that same thing firsthand with distribution. You know, new store flipping open. And, you know, I do some breaking, but because I don't break, you know, 5,000 boxes a month, you know, I don't know what that distribution will look like. I mean, we've gotten deep into it really quick, Brandon, but that is the challenge, right?
I think it's the challenge. And also, it's always a challenge when you grow is making a lot of money is easy. Staying who you are is hard. Being who you are, staying who you are. And that's what I'm urging some of the larger companies to do. And that is, you know, don't overproduce. Don't say things are worth more than they are. Let the small guy make some money. Let everybody make some money. And, you know, when I see the way grading prices are, it's very troublesome to me because the market's up and I see a lot of greed. I see some confusion about on these breaks where people aren't being straight up about what you can win. I see a lot of overproduction with some of the card companies. You know, I see Topps way overproducing and confusing the market of like, you know, this is a one of one, but meanwhile there's 21 of ones. And now the real true rookie card becomes more confusing. Those are things that we need to remove. And on the collectible end, I want, you know, if anybody's listening, I know I'm ranting a little bit. I'm an old guy, but I still love this business and I want it to do well. I want people that are investing in it to do well. And when you do these breaks, collectible breaks, you know, have an interest in what you're breaking and what you're going to win. Now, you may not win the grand prize. I see the gambling and the interest, why you're lured into that. But also, I see some of the crap that's being put into these breaks. So if you don't win the grand prize, you're really stuck with what you think is a pretty good thing, but it's not. And I want people to be more diligent about what the second, third, and fifth place prizes are. because every product that goes out there is important. And I want as much good quality product to go out there as possible, not a company's mistakes. So you're buying a mystery ball project, and if you don't get the Babe Ruth ball, you're getting something that's worth nothing. As long as you know that. But my new company, Collectible Exchange, we take people's collections on, and it's so heartbreaking when people come in with 200 balls, and I'm like, most of these balls are worth nothing. You bought a bunch of garbage because you got caught up in the hype. So, buyer beware, but buyer be educated. Like, note some of the stuff that you're getting, be aware of it. Deal with quality people that are really passing on quality opportunities for you to buy stuff that's good quality. Maybe it goes up in value, but you don't want to buy something that you've overpaid for or think it's worth a lot more than it is. That's what's heartbreaking.
What is it about collecting that brings people together and keeps them so interested?
I think what intrigues people about collecting is remembering the moment. I think why, you get married, you have kids, but why not remember that great sports moment? Why not remember that player that you idolize or look up to? And why not enjoy that? And that's what it's all about is, mentorship, looking up to experiences you've had with your kids or your parents. And why not relive those moments every day? Because those are your favorite moments. And hopefully, I always tell people, when was the last time you did something for the first time? It's like you do something for the first time. Like you want to remember that moment, that first game, that first World Series, the first Super Bowl. And I think that people really enjoy that. Remember the moment. Remembering the moments that matter is kind of memorabilia, is moments that matter. And why not collect around them and around some of these great, great talents, not only in sports, but you're great artists, you're great rock and roll, music, talent, theater. I mean, collecting goes high and wide and far than just cards and some autographed balls. And if you're doing it diligently and smartly, or especially around the stuff you love, players, teams, artists that you love, you're in the right direction.
Yep. And I think that's what's a little lost today. That's my fear with the younger generation. Like even my boys, I have 4 boys, Brandon, and that's what brought me back into the hobby. I collected growing up. I loved it. I definitely wanted stuff that had value, and you definitely had chase cards back then, like Frank Thomas when he came out, Ken Griffey Jr. That was my kind of time. But I was still into collecting, for those moments within the games and the players that I loved. And I don't know. That's my one fear with this generation, that it's become so transactional.
It's true. I mean, listen, I like the entrepreneurial aspect. These kids are,
me too.
It's so great to take a teenager and get them to think about $1 turning into $2.
Yep.
Looking at, it's a business that they can kind of grab onto, which is not easy to find businesses that teenagers can understand, relate to, be knowledgeable about, and then transact. So part of me is split on that answer. It's like part of me loves when I see these kids hustling and, figuring it out. But then part of me is like, collect what you love. Like respect that some of this stuff is not really just about take it, flip it, but it's like, hey, this is really cool. And, differentiate a little bit. But so you're caught in both of them. And that's a big part of the growth of the business is this mystique of, can I make a lot of money?
Yeah.
So I get that. But on the other hand, like the best way to make a lot of money is starting with love and passion and purpose about what it is you're doing, not how can I make a quick buck. And if you play the long game and you buy quality things and you won't end up with the music stops without a chair. I'm afraid that a lot of these kids are going to be stuck without a chair when the music stops because they've born into a lot of hype and a lot of overproduced cards. I said, this, you have how many people come into your shop with like boatloads of cards from the late 80s and 90s? It's heartbreaking. And that's what's going to happen again. People are going to come in from the cards from the last few years and, I got this, I got that. I'm like, it's crap. There's 10,000 of these cards. It's worth $5. Yeah. I paid $500. It's worth $5. And this is what I'm afraid of because you have a 20-year-old or 18-year-old kid right now loving the business. That's a 50-year customer.
Yeah.
You know how hard you work to get somebody into your hobby, your business, and become a lifelong customer, what the value that is? And I'm hoping that the people that are creating these products start respecting that and looking at the long game and not overproduce, not overhype, not have Tom Brady sign 10,000 helmets and say these are going to be worth a ton and realize that you're never getting your money back on those helmets. And that's what's bothersome to me. Like, I don't have a problem with somebody buying something and they get most of their money back or make a little, lose a little. And then every now and then you find somebody make a lot of money. But I think there's a lot of stuff being bought right now that you're not going to be making any money, and you're going to be losing a substantial amount of money on your stuff. And that really breaks my heart.
That's why selfishly, I don't think it's the right thing, because I agree with the monopoly side of it. But that's why I almost just selfishly wanted them to make a deal so that Panini stuck around. You'd have all those with, like, if they would have made a deal with Fanatics and Topps. I know that's like unheard of maybe, but yeah, I think it'd have been better if they had.
It's not going to happen.
Again, if there's going to be one, let's have all of the best companies and all the brands under one umbrella versus them just going away or being unlicensed.
You want to talk about a monopoly, their production. They want to control who sells it. They want to control who gets it. They want to control where you sell it. They want everything on their site, on Fanatics Live or whatever. And then it's insane. Like, how is that possible? Then you have Tom Brady running around the country opening up card stores. So it's like, nobody's stupid here. So now you even control the distribution even more. It's like, no, we'll sell the product to ourselves. Like, how's that fair? So now you've had this card shop for 30 years busting your ass, and then Tom Brady pops up around the corner and he's getting all the product and you're getting shit. How's that fair? How is anybody supporting that model? Like, it's some point you got to wake up and go, wait a minute, that's not right. And you're taking people that have had their heart and soul in the business for years, and you're just pushing them aside. It's sad. It just makes no sense. And it gives one person, one company way too much control. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. Like, it's bullshit. It's outright bullshit. And for the people that are out there that have card stores, you know what I'm talking about. When Brady all of a sudden pops up and his store is filled with every printed product. Like, why? How's that fair? And you got to believe it's a conflict, and you got to believe it's a monopoly. These card stores are hardworking. They're the ones that have built this business all these years. That's my point. They're not just jumping in right now. They've been there for years. And they're like, sorry.
What's your favorite collectible? What's your favorite thing in your collection? And what do you want our audience to remember or know as we close out?
First of all, use the collectibles for joy and happiness. The money is good, but collectibles are supposed to be about joy, happiness, fun, remembering the moments, sharing moments, experiences with family and friends, and make sure that's a big part of your portfolio. That part, what I just said. My favorite collectible is very simple. I have a Bobby Mercer game used bat, my favorite Yankee. I've still got my first contract I did with Derek Jeter in '99, which I was up for many nights trying to figure out if I was ever going to fulfill it for $5 million. I've got like little things like that. I'm really enjoying other people's collections. And I'm realizing that as much of a great collector I think that I was, there's some amazing collectors out there. And that's been my best gift over the last 5 years, is that there's a lot of people that are as deep into this business as I've ever been and doing some amazing things. And I get to enjoy that with my new platform. So, my message out to people is, let's keep it going. And also, it's okay to collaborate. It's okay to talk to the card store next door, or we all need to get along a little bit better. I hope that if anybody's listening that's in a leadership role, it's okay to compete, but the collaborations will take this industry to another level. Because remember, the number one thing is the fan. How lucky are we to have people that are crazy goo gaga about what we're creating and selling, and you can never take that. You can't take that for granted.
We didn't mention it, but he's also the author of You Gotta Have Balls. So I couldn't not mention that. If
anybody on the show listening wants a copy of the book, go to Brandon Steiner 1981 at Gmail, and I'll send you one for free.
Hey,
I have 4 books, by the way, so they're all good, and a lot of them talk about collectibles, sales, entrepreneurship. Happy to send you one of the books for free. Just go to my website, or if you could post it in the comments and just mention that you watched the show, because this is a show worth watching. And I appreciate what you're doing, keeping people on top of what's going on in the industry. We need all the communication and kind of objective communication as we can get.
Brandon, I hope you'll be a regular, man. I want more time with you. You got a wealth of knowledge, and I love how you tell it straight.
Thank you. I appreciate it, my brother. Good luck. I'm glad I'm the first in your new studio, and hopefully it won't be the last. But I'm around. I love the conversation, and I love this business. So look forward to talking to you again.
Hey, guys, you know where to find us. Trading Cards and Collectibles on all the platforms. If you're not watching, check it out on YouTube. If you're listening, go over and check out Spotify, YouTube, any of the visual. Of course, on Instagram, you can find me. Collectibles.show's the website. Brandon Steiner, Collectible Exchange. We'll have all the links to Brandon's info. And, hey, go get a free book. He's got multiple: The Business Playbook, Living on Purpose, author of You Gotta Have Balls, all that and more. We appreciate Brandon. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time on Trading Cards and Collectibles. Collectibles.show is where you'll find all of the channels and learn more about what we're doing. And ultimately, hey, we want to hear from you. You do case hits at collectibles.show. We want you to send in your favorite pulls of the week. And here's the difference. This isn't about just value. Hey, we want to see some $10,000 hits. Had a couple of those myself a few months back. But it's not just about the value, it's about what you're collecting. What means something to you? Share a story, share a video of you holding up the card that you hit last week that was your favorite player and you nailed it. So case hits at collectibles.show. Send in those videos. I want to know the stories. We're going to bring them to life here on the show. We're going to do a segment each week once we get rolling and get some videos in where we share that on the show with us. We want to feature you on Collectibles Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform, and don't miss the full video version on YouTube. You can find us at www.collectibles.show or follow Ryan on Instagram at Ryan Alford. Now get out there and collect yours.